Welcome to EvoLing Mind, where English meets inspiration. Let's train your ears and grow your mind, one word at a time.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt stressed? Maybe this morning when you checked your messages. Maybe yesterday when things didn't go as planned. Or maybe right now as you're listening to this. Stress has become a normal part of modern life. We live fast, we overthink, and we often forget to breathe. We run from one task to another, from one responsibility to the next. And sometimes, without noticing, our hearts become heavy. I used to think stress was something only busy people had, managers, doctors, or parents. But I realized that everyone feels stress, no matter their age, job, or lifestyle. It's part of being human. The problem is not stress itself, it's how we deal with it. In this episode, I want to share a personal story about stress, how it quietly entered my life, how it affected me, and most importantly, how I learned to find peace again. We'll talk about the small moments that create big pressure, the habits that make stress worse, and the gentle ways to release it. If you're feeling tired, anxious, or lost, I hope this episode feels like a calm voice reminding you that it's okay to pause. It's okay to breathe. You don't have to carry everything at once. So, take a deep breath. Let's slow down together. Because sometimes the best way to deal with stress is simply to stop running and listen. Before we learn how to deal with stress, we first need to understand it. What exactly is stress? Stress is that feeling inside your body and mind when something feels too much work, too many thoughts, too many problems are happening all at once. It's like carrying a heavy backpack that never comes off. At first, you think you can handle it, but as time passes, the weight grows heavier, and you start to feel tired, not just in your body, but deep inside your heart. Everyone feels stress. It's not something we can avoid completely. Even children feel it when they have exams. Even older people feel it when they worry about their families. Stress is part of life, just like happiness or sadness. Actually, stress itself is not always bad. Sometimes a little stress can help us grow. It pushes us to study harder, to prepare better, to focus more. It's what makes us care about what we do. But the problem comes when stress doesn't go away. When it stays too long, it becomes like a shadow that follows you everywhere. You wake up thinking about work, you go to sleep thinking about problems, and your mind never rests. I used to think that if I just worked harder, the stress would disappear. But that was wrong. Because stress doesn't go away when you ignore it. It grows stronger. It waits quietly until one day it explodes and you feel like you can't handle anything anymore. There are many signs of stress, but sometimes we don't notice them. You might feel tired even after sleeping. You might lose patience easily. You might forget small things or lose interest in things you love. Sometimes your body even starts to speak for you, with headaches, back pain, or stomach problems. That's how our mind tells us, please slow down. Please take care of me. Stress can come from anywhere. It can come from work, school, family, money, or even from our own thoughts. Sometimes we compare ourselves too much to others. Sometimes we want everything to be perfect. And sometimes we simply forget that we are human and that it's okay to rest. The truth is, stress is not the enemy. It's a message. A message from your body telling you that something is not balanced. It's your mind asking for peace, your heart asking for space, and your soul asking for care. When we understand that, we stop fighting stress like it's a monster. We start listening to it. And when we listen, we can begin to heal. For a long time, I didn't realize I was living with stress. I thought it was just being busy, I worked, studied, helped others, and told myself, I'm fine. But deep inside, I wasn't fine. It started slowly, like a quiet rain that never stops. At first, it didn't feel dangerous. I just felt a bit tired. But then, I began to wake up every morning already exhausted. Even before the day started, I felt heavy. My mind was always full. There were so many things to do, so many problems to solve. Even when I tried to rest, I couldn't relax. I would lie in bed thinking about tomorrow. My body was there, but my mind was still running. I remember one night clearly. It was past midnight. I was sitting in front of my computer, finishing work I didn't even enjoy anymore. My eyes were burning, my back hurt, and I suddenly thought, why am I doing this to myself? That question hit me hard. But instead of answering it, I just ignored it and continued working. That's what stress does. It makes you forget to care about yourself. Weeks later, I started noticing small changes. I became more impatient. Little things made me angry. If someone talked too loudly, I felt irritated. If something went wrong, I blamed myself immediately. My friends invited me out, but I often said no. I told them I was too tired. But the truth was, I didn't want to see anyone. I felt empty. Then, one morning, I woke up and didn't want to get out of bed. Not because I was lazy, but because I felt like I couldn't face the day. That was when I realized this was not just tiredness. It was stress, and it was slowly taking control of my life. That day, I cried. Not because something terrible happened, but because I felt completely lost. And strangely, that moment of crying was the beginning of change, because finally I stopped pretending I was okay. I admitted to myself, I'm stressed. I need help. From that day, I started to notice things more. I saw how I was always rushing, how I never took a real break, how I said yes to everyone except myself. I began to ask new questions. What really matters to me? What can I let go of? Do I want to live like this forever? It wasn't easy to face these questions, but slowly I began to understand that stress doesn't disappear when life gets easier. It disappears when we change the way we live and the way we think. That realization became the first step toward peace. And from there, I started to learn how to cope with stress, not by running from it, but by understanding it. After realizing I was stressed, I didn't change overnight. There was no magic solution, no special secret. But slowly, step by step, I learned to live differently and to be kinder to myself. The first thing I did was pause. I stopped trying to be busy all the time. For a few days, I just allowed myself to do nothing. At first, it felt strange. I kept thinking, I'm wasting time. But then I realized rest is not a waste, it's healing. When we rest, our minds become quiet again. The second thing I learned was to breathe. It sounds simple, but I had forgotten how. When we are stressed, our breath becomes short and fast. So every morning, I started my day with 3 slow breaths, in and out. Just a few minutes of breathing helped me feel calm and grounded. It reminded me that I'm alive, here, and safe. Then I began to simplify my life. I looked at everything I was doing and asked, do I really need to do this? Some things I kept, but many things I let go. I realized that I didn't need to say yes to everyone. I didn't need to be perfect. I just needed to be present. Another important change was talking about it. Before, I kept everything inside. I didn't want to worry my family or friends. But when I finally talked about how I felt, something amazing happened. I felt lighter. Sometimes we don't need advice. We just need someone to listen. I also started to spend time in nature. Whenever I felt overwhelmed, I went for a walk. I listened to the sound of the wind, the birds, the trees. Nature reminded me that life moves slowly, and that's okay. You don't see a flower forcing itself to grow faster. It just grows in its own time. Another thing that helped me was gratitude. Each night, before sleeping, I wrote down 3 small things I was thankful for. Sometimes it was just a good cup of tea, a smile from a friend, or the sunset I saw today. These small things helped me focus on what was good instead of what was wrong. And finally, I learned to be gentle with myself. Before, I used to push too hard. If I made a mistake, I got angry with myself. But I realized that I would never talk to my friends the way I talk to myself. So I began to change the voice in my head. When I failed, I said, "It's okay, try again." When I was tired, I said, "You've done enough today." When I was sad, I said, "You are human. It's okay to feel this." Bit by bit, I felt lighter. Stress didn't disappear completely, and it never will. But now, it no longer controls me. It comes and goes like waves, and I've learned to surf with it, not drown under it. Some days are still hard, but now I know what to do. I breathe, I walk, I talk, I rest. And I remind myself that peace doesn't come from a perfect life. It comes from a calm heart. That's how I learned to cope. Not by escaping stress, but by befriending it. Because sometimes peace is not the absence of problems, it's the presence of understanding.
Looking back now, I can see how much stress has taught me. At the time, it felt heavy and painful, but those hard moments became lessons I will never forget. Stress was not my enemy. It was my teacher, one who spoke quietly but clearly. The first lesson I learned is that it's okay not to be okay. For a long time, I tried to hide my feelings. I smiled when I was sad and said I'm fine when I wasn't. But pretending doesn't make pain go away. It only makes it grow. Once I accepted that I was struggling, I finally began to heal. Admitting weakness doesn't make us weak. It makes us honest. And honesty is the beginning of peace. The second lesson is to slow down. We live in a world that moves too fast. Everyone is chasing goals, success, and perfection. But life is not a race. It's a journey. When I slowed down, I started to notice things I had ignored before. The morning light through my window, the sound of rain, the taste of coffee. Small things, but full of peace. The third lesson is to take care of your mind like you take care of your body. We often eat healthy, go to the gym, or take vitamins, but we forget about our thoughts. I learned that the mind needs rest, too. Sometimes that means turning off your phone, saying no to one more task, or simply sitting in silence. A calm mind makes everything else clearer. The fourth lesson is that you don't have to do it alone. Stress makes you believe that no one understands you. But that's not true. When I opened up to people I trusted, I realized how many others felt the same. Sharing our struggles doesn't make them disappear, but it makes them lighter. Another lesson is to focus on what you can control. So many of my worries came from things I couldn't change. Other people's opinions, the weather, the future. But peace began when I stopped fighting things outside my control. I learned to let go, to trust that some things are meant to take time. And maybe the most beautiful lesson of all, be kind to yourself. We spend so much time being strong for others, but we forget that we need care too. Now when I make a mistake, I don't say, "I'm stupid." I say, "I'm learning." When I feel tired, I don't say, "I'm lazy." I say, "I need rest." The words we say to ourselves shape how we feel. So I learned to speak gently, even inside my own mind. Finally, I learned that stress will always be a part of life, but it doesn't have to control it. There will always be deadlines, problems, and days that don't go as planned. But now I face them differently. I know that I can pause, breathe, and respond with calm instead of panic. That is the real strength. Not to avoid storms, but to stand in the rain and still find beauty in it. So now when stress visits me again, and it will, I smile. I welcome it like an old friend with a message. And I ask, what are you trying to teach me this time? Because every wave of stress can lead us to deeper peace if we learn how to listen. Stress is something we all meet in life. It comes quietly, sometimes without a reason, and stays longer than we expect. But the more I live, the more I understand that stress isn't here to destroy us. It's here to remind us that we are human, that we feel deeply, we care deeply, and sometimes we carry too much. There was a time when I hated stress. I thought it was the enemy. I wanted to erase it completely. But now I see it differently. Stress is like a signal, a gentle alarm from our mind and body saying, please stop for a moment, please listen. When I finally listened, I discovered something beautiful. Peace was never far away. It was always there, hiding under all the noise, waiting for me to slow down and notice it. The truth is, we cannot live a life without stress. But we can live a life where stress doesn't control us. We can learn to recognize it, breathe through it, and even thank it for showing us what matters most. If you are feeling tired today, take a deep breath right now. Feel the air enter your lungs and leave slowly. That simple act, breathing, is life reminding you that you are still here, still moving, still trying. And that is enough. You don't have to fix everything today. You don't have to be perfect or strong all the time. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is pause, close your eyes, and say, I need a moment. Because rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. Remember, no storm lasts forever. The clouds may cover the sun for a while, but the light always returns. So be patient with yourself. Be gentle. You are learning, growing, and becoming stronger every single day, even when it doesn't feel like it. Thank you for spending this moment with me on EvoLing Mind, English for your ears and your inner self. May you find calm in every breath, strength in every challenge, and peace in every small thing you do. Because life will always be busy, but your heart can still be quiet. See you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening with EvoLing Mind. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your English and your mindset evolving every day.